What's up everyone, Adventures in Bitcoin here again with another video. So Bitcoin fell as expected down to this line here. It's sitting at about $6,100. If you watched my last video, I talked about why Bitcoin was falling, or some of the reasons why it was falling, and that it was going to come down to this line. It was inevitable, and it really doesn't matter why. I mean, there's no one particular reason why it fell. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons contributing to it, but it really doesn't matter. What matters is that the charts are telling us it's going to fall. And if you're able to read the charts and you understand what's happening here, it really doesn't matter why. There will be something will happen, a news item, something will come out negative, a hack, it doesn't matter what it is, to cause it to go to where it's trying to go to. And I have some videos on chart reading, some of the indicators, Elliott wave, and I don't sell this material. I'm not trying to make a profit on it. They're crash courses. They're not comprehensive. They're basically my own brain dump of things that I'm learning, and I offer it to you for the low price of your like and maybe a subscribe if you're so inclined. I notice my subscribers are starting to fall, which is that's okay. I never wanted to be a huge YouTube sensation. I like to keep it small. With the bigger numbers come more trolls, and it's harder to interact with you one-on-one and answer everyone's questions. So I like to keep it on the small side. And this channel was never really about trying to be better than anyone else. I mean, you get to watch me fail. You get to watch me be wrong. I try different things, and sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they do, but I always try to stress is that it's really not what you're doing, it's how much you're allocating to it. So you never go all in on anything. So being completely conservative and, let's say, just buying Bitcoin and holding it, that's really not a great strategy either. So you want to be able to take some of that and sprinkle it on other things and diversify, and even have a small budget for the riskier things, like venture capitalism. So every entrepreneur will have a little bit of their budget for venture capitalism, and a lot of times, more often than not, those things fail, but that's the risk. Like I said in the last video when I talked about the tips that I've picked up along the way, high risk equals high reward, but also equals high risk. They go together. There's nothing you can do about it. So looking at the Bitcoin price, I see two scenarios playing out. The least preferable of the two scenarios is that Bitcoin stays sideways here and sticks to this support line, this blue support line I drew here, for quite some time. And that will be people just kind of like not making up their mind. You'll hear in the news, you hear a negative thing, you'll hear a positive thing. Things will be balanced in the media. And there's also a trend line down here that I'll draw just to give you an idea. Starting from the when Bitcoin first started to take off a bit, I think that was around $1,000, and we'll hit this bottom here and we'll carry this line all the way to about there. Now this, because of the trajectory of this, there's a wide margin of error here, so I'm going to try to get as close to the bottom here as possible, and then we'll carry this over. So this, people are looking at this line as well as a major point of support, and the farther this goes sideways, they're going to catch up. This red line and the price is going to catch up eventually. If it's going to hit it sooner, it's going to hit it later. So if that happens, and that's with moderate news items, nothing negative, nothing too positive, just kind of what it's been doing now, it's going to hit this line eventually, and then probably stick to this line. It may have some up days and come back down. I'll snap back down to this line, and we're going to see a very stretched out long recovery. And that's it's not bad, but it's the least preferable of the two scenarios. The other scenario I see happening is what we would really want to see happening, is we'll just lose that red line there. And I would anticipate something, because I talked about in the last video how manipulated this market is. There'll be some negative news items, some major negative news. Some government is going to do some serious regulation. We just heard Japan is getting more serious about cracking down on cryptocurrencies in their country. Maybe other countries will follow suit. Maybe there'll be a huge hack, something that's going to be very public, or some big talking head will say something extremely negative, and the price will tank very sharply. And what we'll see is it coming down to this support here at some point. It could go down to this support, but it will be somewhere in here. And then we'll see, because there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, people that are in the know, people that understand cryptocurrencies, that are watching. They're watching and they're waiting for the price to come down. They say, I'm not buying Bitcoin at $6,100. I'm buying it at $3,000. I'm buying it at $4,000. There's people waiting for it to drop down to 1,000, which I don't think it will do. A lot of experts say it'll come down to 1,000. I just don't see that happening, not with Bitcoin. You got to remember there's supply and demand, and a lot of the supply is eaten up, and there's a finite amount of Bitcoin that it's available. So there's tons of Bitcoin that are abandoned in wallets from early on, where people mined a ton of Bitcoin and then their computers crashed and they didn't have it backed up. Well, it was worth a couple of pennies back then. Now it's worth $1 million. So, and then we have, I believe they've identified Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet, who has probably the most Bitcoin of them all, right? It's safe to say. And that wallet hasn't been touched in years, so they think that guy's dead. So, and you can speculate over what happened to him, what was his fate. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, if it comes down here, you're going to see a big pump as people start to pick up this cheap Bitcoin, right? And so that's what I'm waiting for. So I'd be looking to buy, starting here. Let me change this color so you can see the prices. I'll do it in yellow. So starting here as it's falling, even if it rebounds, I'll be picking up some. And in my last video, I talked about dollar cost averaging, so I don't just come in and say, "Oof, here's 10 grand." No, I come in maybe $100, maybe $1,000, whatever the budget is, and you just take little nibbles and just see where it goes. If it goes up more, great, buy more. If it goes down more, then you're just getting it cheaper. So that's sort of the idea. I like the RSI here, playing in this oversold level on the daily chart. So, to get ahead of this, you want to drop the chart down to maybe 4 hours, where you can get an idea of what's going on. You can zero in on when this fall is going to happen and try to get ahead of it. But like I always say, I'm not looking at buying Bitcoin. My gateway to cryptocurrency has been Ethereum. I just think Ethereum is going to lead the charge this time around. Ethereum's been playing in this triangle here, which is good. I actually think this is a very good buying point right here at the bottom of this triangle. But we have this dark cloud that's surrounding Bitcoin, and until this dark cloud lifts, I think Ethereum and all the cryptos are going to suffer pretty much the same fate. So when I see Bitcoin dip down here and people start buying again, I see people buying. I'm buying Ethereum. What I want to see is for this to happen, for this to come down here, is more people saying Bitcoin is dead. When I hear that, when I see that in like live streams and on Twitter, where people are saying crypto is dead, don't waste your money on that garbage, it's worthless. When I see that stuff more and more, and when you hear about it in the news, that's actually a good thing. I don't want it to fall so that people can lose money. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I want it to fall so that we can get it cheaper for the true believers of cryptocurrency. Because, come on guys, crypto is here to stay. We know this. It's not going anywhere. Governments are heavily invested. Fortune 500 companies are heavily investing. We got major players, the banks are getting involved. We got the hedge funds, we've got futures contracts. It is not going anywhere. And people are just waiting. The smart money is just waiting for the suckers to say Bitcoin is dead, and so that they can pick up some cheap. And they may even force the hand by coming out and saying negative things, saying we're selling all our positions in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is dead. When that drops, that's when to buy. Or I should say, that's when I'll be buying. Another thing when it comes to altcoins, you always have to think, all these guys are falling, but every now and then you see one that, like Monero's up 5%, right? While Bitcoin and everything else is falling. If you can catch a winner like that, that's awesome. But remember that the goal is always to get more Bitcoin. Drill that in your head. The goal is to get more Bitcoin. When you're dealing with Bitcoin, the goal is Bitcoin can only go up in dollar value, right? So in order to get a higher dollar value for your Bitcoin, you have to get more Bitcoin. So you can use the alts to do that. But you have to make sure when you're looking at them, you have to change USD to Bitcoin value, and then you see the truth of what's going on, right? So people say, why trade the altcoins when Bitcoin is going down? If the whole market, if Bitcoin's controlling the market and the whole market is going down, why buy altcoins? It's stupid. It's not stupid if you understand that you want to get more Bitcoin. You don't care what the Bitcoin price is in dollar value, because next year it's going to be, astronomical level. We can imagine what the price is going to be next year. It's not going to be $6,100, maybe double that, even more. The goal is to get more Bitcoin while we're waiting for that to happen. Does that make sense? So you can do that with the alts. The trick is they're not always going to go up. Some days one will be up and the next day it's going to be down, and you can actually lose badly too. High risk, high reward equals high risk. So one of the ways that I've been battling this, I haven't been trading too heavily. What I've been doing, I've been investing a little bit into Monk coin, which is a staking coin. If you're not familiar with staking, I have a video on how to stake. They all pretty much work the same, though some coins have different rules applied to them. But Monk coin, in my opinion, has been doing really good. I actually got a stake today, the 19th. Not today, it was a few days ago. I thought one came in today. But anyway, look at these stakes. I got 10 Monk, 13.6 Monk, 10.8 Monk. I've earned almost as much Monk as I originally bought. I'm like right at that 50-50 level. And this is only over a short period of time. How staking works, I'll give you a quick rundown, is you download their wallet, you buy the coins on the exchange. Monk is traded on Cryptopia. You buy it with Bitcoin, send it over to your wallet, and you'll just leave it there. And over time, you will earn rewards. And as the blocks get solved, if your wallet is one of the ones that solves the block, depending on the number of the block, you will get a certain amount of rewards. So it's broken up like 10.8, 13.6, and so on and so on. You can see on the site, it shows you how it breaks it down. If you win the block, you get the reward. There's also mining pools or staking pools that you can join to get more frequent blocks. I prefer to have control over the coin, so I do it in my own wallet. The problem with staking coins, these altcoins, is you have to find one that's going to retain its value, because there's no sense in staking a coin and earning tons of stakes of that coin if the coin is going down in value, or if there's a risk of it getting delisted. I'm also staking BitConnect, and Quantum, and also Devor coin. Now, out of these three, BitConnect and Devor stake the best, believe it or not. Say what you want, but they stake the best. The problem is the BitConnect coin is worth under $1, and unless anything new happens, anything positive happens with this project, you know, its reputation has been tarnished. So there is a small chance, very small chance, of it getting its value back. But you never know what can happen with these coins. Sometimes they get resurrected somehow, and the price will start to rise. It'll definitely not go back to what it was. But let's say that starts to happen. If you bought the BCC coin now while it's really cheap and started staking, and you would earn staking rewards now while it's down, and let's say something positive happens with the project, you can then sell those stakes for a huge profit. In the case of Devore, it recently got delisted, so you can't even sell it. So maybe, you know, one of the smaller exchange will pick it up. But you know, since the money is already in there, and I already have, you know, 576 DAV, and I've just been earning more and more and more, I'm just leaving it. I mean, it doesn't cost me anything to keep it. So but that's the risk when it comes to staking coins. Why I like Monk is because it has a great project behind it. They're on Telegram, and then they're on Discord, and they're very helpful in, you know, technical problems. The price of the coin, and mind you, I don't get anything for advertising this. I'm just letting you know something that I've had success with, and I think could be very profitable going forward. I'm just sharing it with you guys. And conversely, if you find something similar to Monk, or anything else that you find that's profitable, please let me know. That's how this works. It's a two-way street. So right now the price of Monk coin is $2.45. I recently earned 10.8, so I can turn around and sell them at $2.45 a pop right now if I wanted to, and it'd be no skin on my back because I earned that, which is kind of nice. The history of the price, like, it recently had a spike. It went up to $5. So if I would have put my 10 Monk that I earned out on Cryptopia and put a sell order for $5 and it hit that price, you know, I would have made $50 for what? For doing nothing, for just staking. Of course, I'm not selling it for dollars. I'm selling it for Bitcoin. So staking is one way to generate more Bitcoin without risking too much, because, you know, if you look at the history of the price is pretty stable. I'm gonna look at it over, you know, since March. You know, it has its ups and its downs, but they recently added masternodes. This is a new wallet, by the way. It's gorgeous. They did a great job on it. You can get a masternode for about $5,000, and this enables you to stake more, but you lock your coins up for a period of time. So just one of the ways to earn more Bitcoin. So that is it. Wait for people to start saying Bitcoin is dead. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. CNBC actually held a funeral for Bitcoin, a mock funeral. So this is the kind of stuff we want to see in order for it to rebound the way it did, and we can start seeing those crazy parabolic levels where people start to FOMO, driving the price to astronomical new highs. So that is it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.